हेलो फ्रेंड्स, वेलकम टू मनु लॉ क्लासेस। आई एम गौतम दीक्षित। आज के इस वीडियो में हम नवंबर 15 2021 का डेली हिंदू एनालिसिस करेंगे। टू एक्सेस डेली हिंदू एनालिसिस वीडियो, प्लीज सब्सक्राइब टू मनु लॉ क्लासेस। बिफोर आई स्टार्ट टुडेज न्यूज़, two dates have become very important for CLAD aspirant. One is 8th May 2022 and the second is 18th December 2022. So two dates have been declared. Once again note it, 8th May and 18th December. Now 8th May is going to be the day when CLAD 2022 is scheduled, and 18th December is the day when CLAD 2023 is to be scheduled. So please make a note of this date, which are very important for CLAD 2022 and CLAD 2023 aspirants. 8th May 2022 CLAD 2022 will be held, and 18th December 2022 CLAD 2023 will be held. Now let's move to the topic. The first important topic for today is the CBI and Enforcement Director Chief can now have 5-year terms. अब ऐसे ये possible क्यों हुआ? Because the Union Government has the President of India Ram Nath Kovind has promulgated 2 ordinances which will allow the Union Government to extend the tenures of the Directors of Central Bureau Investigation and Enforcement Directorate from 2 years up to 5 years. जो minimum टर्म होते हैं डायरेक्टर्स के, सीबीआई के चाहे इन्फोर्समेंट डायरेक्टरेट के, ये 2 years होते हैं. बट इफ सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट वांट्स देन दे कैन एक्सटेंड द टेन्योर ऑफ द डायरेक्टर्स 3 times बाय 1 year एट अ टाइम. नाउ इसमें इतना प्रॉब्लम क्यों हुआ है? सो इसका प्रॉब्लम ये हुआ है कि द मूव हैज़ कम जस्ट डेज बिफोर द प्रेजेंट ईडी चीफ मीन्स एनफोर्समेंट डायरेक्टरेट चीफ संजय कुमार मिश्रा वॉज सेट टू रिटायर, दैट ऑल्सो ऑन November 17. अभी जो चेंजेस आए हैं ये 2 एक्ट को अमेंड करके ये चेंजेस लाया गया है. द वन इज अमेंडिंग द दिल्ली स्पेशल पुलिस एस्टेब्लिशमेंट एक्ट 1946 which led to the changes in the tenure of CBI director, and changes in Central Vigilance Commission Act 2003. It was amended with respect to 80 directors post. अब oppositions इसके ऊपर नाराज क्यों है? तो देखिए, winter session of parliament is going to begin on November 29. अब ऑर्डिनेंस रूट जो फॉलो किया गया इस चेंजेस को लाने के लिए ये प्रॉब्लमेटिक हो रहा है, और इसी के ऊपर ओपोजिशंस पार्टीज दे आर क्वेश्चनिंग इट, बिकॉज व्हेन द प्रेसिडेंट कम्स आउट विद ऑर्डिनेंस then what happens is that somewhere you are not making changes in the law by passing it through parliament. ओके तो यहाँ पे क्या होगा कि ऑर्डिनेंस पास हो गया. अब जब तक इसके ऊपर बिल नहीं आएगा, गवर्नमेंट के पास 2 ऑप्शन थे, या तो ऑर्डिनेंस लेके आए जो गवर्नमेंट ने किया, सेकंड गवर्नमेंट को बिल इंट्रोड्यूस करना था, पार्लियामेंट में इसके ऊपर डिबेट होता, एंड देन द पार्लियामेंट वुड हैव गिवन इट्स व्यू ऑन द implications of extending the tenure of CBI director and enforcement directorate from currently 2 years to 5 years. The next is delivery of S-400 systems have begun, Russian official. तो हम एक न्यूज़ कर रहे थे about CAATSA. What is CAATSA? Countering America's adversaries through Sanction Act, CAATSA. Now any country which is dealing with those countries which America perceives its adversarial, then that country will be put under CAATSA sanction. Earlier, Turkey has been put under CAATSA sanction for procuring S-400 missile system from Russia. अब इंडिया को लेके बात चल रही है. सो इंडिया के लिए कुछ अमेरिकन सेनेटर्स हैं, रिप्रेजेंटेटिव्स हैं, वो कह रहे हैं कि येस अमेरिका शुड बी पुट इनटू द सैंक्शन सिस्टम. There are others who believe that India should be given waiver from US, because India and US, they have a strategic partnership and they are playing important role in Indo-Pacific region, especially through Quad. Now coming to what is this S-400 missile system. So this S-400 air defense system is the need of India. जैसे कि हमने डिस्कस किया था कि that is called as THAAD, 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 Terminal High Altitude Aerial Defense System. In this system there will be 2 layers to protect India from any incoming missile. One layer will be of Prithvi missile, one layer will be defended by the Prithvi missile, and the next layer will be डिफेंडेड बाय द S-400 मिसाइल। तो जो पहला लेयर है इसको हम कहते हैं एक्सोथर्मिक लेयर, सेकेंड इज वेरी एंडोथर्मिक लेयर। द नेक्स्ट इज द कोल फेज डाउन इज अ राइट मिनिस्टर। तो ये COP26 से रिलेटेड न्यूज़ है। व्हाट इज हैपनिंग ओवर हियर दैट अ फाइनल डॉक्यूमेंट इज येट टू कम। So over here the Union Environment Minister Bhupendra Yadav, he has said that instead of phased out, the term phased down has been used, taking into view the developmental and growth concerns of nations like China and India, and including the developed countries. They are hesitant to use the term phased out because still 70% of the energy generation in India is dependent on coal, and similar the case is in China. The next is that there is a slight improvement in Delhi's air quality after 3 days. So now currently the Delhi's air category as on Sunday is very poor. Earlier it was in severe category, and now the government of Delhi, it announced some certain measures to reduce the pollution in the capital, that is called as graded response action plan. Now this news is important. The Commission for Air Quality Management in National Capital Region and adjoining area had directed the states and the agencies concerned to be in complete readiness for implementing the emergency measures listed under Graded Response Action Plan. तो ये क्या ऐसा गवर्नमेंट ने स्टेप लिया कि 3 दिन के बाद दिल्ली में जो एयर क्वालिटी है वो सीवियर से वेरी पुअर में आया है। सो इफ यू विल सी दैट द गवर्नमेंट ऑफ हरियाणा, राजस्थान, उत्तर प्रदेश were advised to consider restrictions on the NCR districts, and then there were certain measures which has led to increase in pollution. So it is like stubble burning, vehicular pollution after Deepavali, dip in temperature. Then air quality was also impacted by dust storm moving in from the southwesterly direction of the Thar डेजर्ट। तो इनकी वजह से क्या हो गया कि PM 2.5 PM10 के जो लेवल्स हैं एयर में वो बहुत ज़्यादा इंक्रीज हो गए। ओके, नाउ देयर आर सर्टन एक्टिविटीज़ इफ फॉलोड इट कैन रिड्यूस द एयर पॉल्यूशन सब्सटेंशियली। सो दीज आर कंट्रोलिंग द स्टबल बर्निंग, reducing the dust from construction and demolition activities, checking the dust from roads and open areas, and cutting down on vehicular and industry pollution. The next is Nalla Malla Hills. So Nalla Malla Hills in Andhra Pradesh. So the lush green hills of Nalla Malla are now open for tourists to explore and learn thanks to the ecotourism package announced by Telangana Forest Department. It has also announced a safari ride into the Amrabad Tiger Reserve. Now Gadchiroli encounter a severe blow to Moist network. So over here the Maharashtra police carried out a operation and where 26 members of the Communist Party of India Moist. देखिए जब भी आप CPI पार्टी के बारे में पढ़ेंगे तो ब्रैकेट में क्या लिखा है वो बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है कि ब्रैकेट में मॉइस्ट लिखा है कि मार्क्सिस्ट लेनिनिस्ट या ML लिखा है, ठीक है ना। दोज थिंग्स आर वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट। इफ इट इज़ मॉइस्ट देन इट इज़ अ बैंड ऑर्गेनाइजेशन ऑफ कम्युनिस्ट पार्टी ऑफ इंडिया। तो इनके एक की फिगर मतलब की लीडर थे मिलिंद तेलतुम्बरे। ही ऑल्सो डाइड ड्यूरिंग दिस ऑपरेशन। So 26 members of the Communist Party of India Moist, they have died. Now the operation has given a severe blow to Naxal's urban and jungle network in 3 states, not only in 1 state, 3 states. So that is Chhattisgarh, Madhya Pradesh and Maharashtra. Now who is this Telumbre? So he was the central committee member and he was the charge of newly formed Maharashtra, Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh confluence zone, and they were expanding their network through recruitment and in other zone. The next is that first of all about Assam Rifles. So Assam Rifles is a paramilitary force of the Indian Army and they have the responsibility to guard India-Myanmar border. Now there is one terrorist or insurgent organization called as Manipur Naga People's Forum that had carried out the attack, killing a officer of Assam Rifle, and they were held by People's Liberation Army. So if you will just talk about the People's Liberation Army, so they were dormant from last 6 years and they are there since 1978, but now they have become active. Now this VBIG, what is the full form of VBIG? So it is the abbreviation used by the armed forces that comprises mostly of fighters from Meitei community who dominate the Manipur's Imphal Valley. So the full form of VBIG is Valley Based Insurgent Group. Now this MNFPF, that Manipur Naga People's Front, they are ideologically different from NSCN-IM, so Nationalist Socialist Council of Naga People, Isaac Moivia, so they are different from that. And NSCN-IM is not in conflict with the forces since they have announced ceasefire in 1997. The next is very important news that Kezar-e-Hind is Arunachal's state butterfly. So an elusive swallowtail butterfly carrying India in its name and found in next door China will become the state butterfly of Arunachal Pradesh. अभी यहाँ का देखिए कुछ important significance है. The state cabinet headed by Chief Minister Pema Khandu approved Kezar-e-Hind as state butterfly. अब यहाँ पे जो कैबिनेट मीटिंग है इसका एक सिग्निफिकेंस है. दिस कैबिनेट मीटिंग वाज हेल्ड आउटसाइड स्टेट कैपिटल ईटानगर एंड इट वाज हेल्ड एट पक्के टाइगर रिजर्व. सो ये नाम याद रखिएगा, स्टैटिक जीके का पार्ट बन जाएगा कि पक्के टाइगर रिजर्व कहाँ पे है. सो इट इज़ इन अरुणाचल प्रदेश. सो इफ यू विल सी द नेक्स्ट डिसीजन, द कैबिनेट ऑल्सो अडॉप्टेड द पक्के टाइगर रिजर्व 2047 डिक्लेरेशन on climate change resilient and responsive Arunachal Pradesh, which aims at lowering emissions and sustainable development. Now this Kezar-e-Hind, it means Emperor of India. Kezar-e-Hind का मतलब ही होता है Emperor of India. इसका जो विंग स्पैन होता है वो 90 से 120 mm का होता है. Then it is found not only in Arunachal Pradesh but along 6 states along the eastern Himalayas, और जो इसका एलिवेशन है वो 6000 से 10,000 फीट का होता है. It is also found in Nepal, Bhutan, Myanmar, Laos, Vietnam and southern China. Now, the Kezar-e-Hind, it is protected under Schedule 2 of the Wildlife Protection Act 1972. Now, it is hunted for supply to butterfly collectors. जो butterfly collect करते हैं, ठीक है, उनके लिए इसको hunt किया जाता है. Now, the first dead specimen of Kezar-e-Hind was recorded in Sikkim by Usha Lachuppa, a senior forest official of the state, in 2012. It was captured live on camera by a few participants during butterfly watching meet in Arunachal Pradesh Tappe Valley Wildlife Sanctuary in 2014. एलेट में क्लैट में इस टाइप के क्वेश्चंस काफ़ी इंपॉर्टेंट होते हैं, सो डू रीड इट. नाउ अबाउट द जॉइंट पार्लियामेंट्री कमेटी ऑन डेटा प्रोटेक्शन बिल. तो यहाँ पे सेक्शन 12 और सेक्शन 35 की बात हुई है. तो अगर हम सेक्शन 12 की बात करें तो यहाँ पे एक सेक्शन 12 में है कि अंडर दिस सेक्शन 12 गवर्नमेंट डिपार्टमेंट्स विच आर गवर्न्ड बाय लॉ such as income tax department and UIDAI, unique identification authority of India, they will be given exemption from this bill. Now it is extraordinary that it is something very extraordinary that UIDAI is seeking exemption. Okay, even after the right to privacy is a fundamental right under KS Puttaswamy versus Union of India case, in which right to privacy was made the fundamental right. The next is several workers unions in Gurgaon automotive sector. We are already know that automotive sector is going through downslide. Most of the companies like Ford recently exited India, and then the production is going down, and then there are too many layoffs in automotive sector. So several workers union in automotive sector and Samyukt Kisan Morcha, they have now formed a farmer and labor union which is called as Mazdoor Kisan Panchayat. The next is reconsider the transfer of Madras High Court Chief Justice Senior Counsel urge SC Collegium. आज हमें एडिटोरियल भी इस इशू से रिलेटेड करना है. सो द चीफ जस्टिस ऑफ Madras High Court Sandeep Banerjee, the Supreme Court Collegium has recommended his transfer to Meghalaya High Court, and now 31 designated senior counsel, they have sent a joint representation to Supreme Court Collegium urging them to reconsider their decision. The next is IMA wants to inoculate all diabetics and give them booster dose. So 14th November is celebrated as World Diabetes Day. So the Indian Medical Association has demanded COVID-19 vaccination for all diabetic patients. Now remember, COVID-19 vaccinations and comorbidity. So diabetes is one of the factors of comorbidity, and people are hesitant to take this. So the Indian Medical Association, they have demanded that the COVID-19 vaccination should be for all diabetic patients, including a booster dose if it is needed. Then some of the other demands are the association, this Indian Medical Association, they have launched a campaign for early detection and mitigation of diabetes complications. Then a campaign has been launched to reach 1 billion people. Now, what are the problems with the diabetes? Let's do that. So the Indian Medical Association says that millions of people with diabetes do not have access to the kind of care they need, and that patients often require continuous care and support to avoid complications. Now, the World Diabetes Day logo is a blue circle, and it will be depicted by blue light and blue balloons during the campaign at all IMA branches. Now, in India, what is the status of diabetes? So more than 77 million adults are living with diabetes, and researchers predict that this is going to increase to 134 million by 2045. What is the major factor which is contributing to the rise in diabetic cases? So see, the urban lifestyle, which is defined as marked by sedentary lifestyle, stress, junk food, smoking and liquor. These are all the contributing factor for diabetes. Then undiagnosed cases are very high in India. So 57% of the cases in India of diabetes remains undiagnosed. Then women, they have a very high risk of developing diabetes than men, as both get older. So now see, 80% of the amputations of leg in India are due to diabetes. The next is the factual GK part. The Dudhwa National Park to reopen from today. अब ये न्यूज़ रीओपन इतना इम्पोर्टेंट नहीं है, बट ये इम्पोर्टेंट है जानना कि वेयर इज़ द दुधवा नेशनल पार्क. सो दुधवा नेशनल पार्क इज इन उत्तर प्रदेश. Gaddafi's son to run for president. So we just have to remember the name, Saif al-Islam. So he is the heir apparent of Muammar Gaddafi, who was once the ruler or president of Libya. So then the Libya election is going to be held next month, so he is going to run for presidentship. Then Boris Johnson, the British Prime Minister, has hailed the COP26 deal as a big step forward and first ever international agreement to talk about phasing down the use of coal. Now this is very important static GK part है और नाम बहुत ज़्यादा पूछा जा सकता है. That who is the COP26 president? Then he is Alok Sharma. Who is Alok Sharma? He is a British Indian cabinet minister in charge of dealing with the negotiations at COP26. Now 200 countries on the final communique late on Sunday have recognized India's intervention for the world to phase down rather than phase out fossil fuels. इसका मतलब है कि India is focusing on using the term phase down, not phase out. क्यों? क्योंकि इंडिया में अभी भी ग्रोथ प्रोसेस के लिए हमें बहुत ज़्यादा एनर्जी रिक्वायरमेंट की ज़रूरत है, एंड स्टिल फॉर लॉन्ग टाइम टू कम coal is going to be the dominant source of energy. Along with that, the share of developed countries in carbon budget is very high, and the share of developing country is very low. So China and India, they are going to justify that they need a more carbon budget as compared to developed countries, looking at their growth concerns. The next is about the CDM, Clean Development Mechanism, and carbon credit. So the Kyoto Protocol introduced the concept of carbon credit through CDM, Clean Development Mechanism. Now this Clean Development Mechanism is being phased out and a new collective mechanism is being put at place now, but it is not sure that the carbon credit earned by private sector, will it be valid under the new mechanism? Second, the carbon credit earned, will it be the part of NDCs of the country? Now Australia has won its maiden title in World Cup, in T20 World Cup. So that is the news. Then Lewis Hamilton, he has won the Sao Paulo Grand Prix held on Sunday. Now this news talks about the killing of 26 Maoists in Gadchiroli district of Madhya Pradesh, of Maharashtra. So it gives the account of the futility of the Maoist movement in India, and goes on explaining the modus operandi of Maoist people. So see, from here. The Maoists they sought to expand their presence, extending from neighboring Chhattisgarh. Then there have been major encounters with the police and major killings. So, despite suffering significant losses to its leadership in military operations or other physical infirmities and shrinking of the areas of influence, the Maoists they are not withdrawing from their pursuit of armed struggle. Now, this pursuit of armed struggle has given rise to violence begets violence, means more violence. And what is happening over here is that security forces they continuously lose combatants, but equally disturbing, it affects the poor tribal people whose lives are caught in a prolonged crossfire. The next is that why Maoists have not able to expand their influence. So it is because of the development skills and the work by the security establishments among the Maoist affected area, especially in the marginalized and sections and the remote areas of the country. At the same time, the Maoist program which based itself on replicating the Chinese Revolution. हम बहुत दिन से Chinese Revolution 1949 की बात कर रहे थे, ठीक है. So the Maoist people feel that they are going to bring the revolution like Chinese Revolution in India also. And but if you will see the conditions of China of 1949 and India of today, it's very different. So the conditions in India are not very close to the condition of China in the 1920s, and neither the Maoist people they have the support of peasantry as they had in China. Okay, then despite this failure, the Maoists they retain the capability to strike in the isolated skirmishes. Then the article goes on saying that the government and the police they should continually act to win over the support of the tribals in the region and retaining their faith in the liberal democratic institutions of the state. The next is about the history lesson. So the plenum has concluded in the China. The plenum is the annual meeting of the Communist Party of China, and the third historic resolution has been passed in China, which calls for resolution on the major achievements and historical experience of the party over the past century. The first such resolution was passed by Mao Zedong in 1945 when the ideology of Communist Party of China shifted away from Stalinist view. Then it was passed in 1981 by Deng Xiaoping, where he recognized the historical mistakes of Mao Zedong, especially the Cultural Revolution of 1966-76. This second resolution it increased the collective leadership and modernization in China. The third resolution passed recently at the plenum. It has made Xi Jinping as the core leader of the Communist Party of China. So now the Communist Party of China has again moved from collective leadership to core leadership. The next is striding back into the Afghan theater. So this is about the Delhi Dialogue on Regional Security, which was held recently, which is the third regional security dialogue on Afghanistan, and where the national security advisors of India, Iran and the 5 Central Asian countries met. There was absence from Pakistan and China. Now if we will just see that what was the outcome of this declaration. So the Delhi Declaration, which has emerged from the deliberations of the National Security Advisors, Secretaries of the National Security Councils of the participating states, shows that all these countries share similar concerns which are widely held in international community. So see, what are the demands of the Delhi Declaration? That Afghan soil is not used for spread of terrorism or extremist ideology, then control on the production of Afghan opium, then Taliban to accept standards of behavior on gender issues and minority rights, then open and truly inclusive government that is representative of the will of the Afghan people, then the participation of all sections of society in its administrative and political structure. But now there are certain hurdles and okay, what are the hurdles? The hurdles are that except India, most of the countries they are dealing in their own way with Afghanistan. For example, take the example of terrorism. So the countries which have danger from the terrorist groups, so they are asking Taliban to not allow that terrorist group particularly to operate on their soil. So if you will just see an example, the Russian press statement after the Delhi Declaration said that each country will act not on the basis of common position in this document but in keeping with its interest. And this, the article says that the Indian government should now face the reality where the situation has changed after August 15. Then the next is about the Pakistan link. So Pakistan has not recognized Taliban, but it is playing a very important role. Now if the Pakistan has very greater role to play in Afghanistan, then India has a very small space for diplomatic maneuvers in Afghanistan. But the article says that India, if proceeds with caution but without inhibitions, there are many things in which India can engage with Afghanistan, keeping in view the Afghan tradition and culture, that in no stage in Afghan history has any ruler or group has depended on foreign dependence. For example, Taliban still signals to India that it wants to have the good relation with India because it does not want to depend on Pakistan totally. Then the next is that about the China. So the Chinese have always maintained contacts with the Taliban, and their strategic and economic interest it is going to continue to make them adopt pragmatic policies. So if you will see the Indian economic interest, it also demands its presence in Afghanistan. We were already planning a road route from Chabad port to Central Asia through Afghanistan. So that's why Afghanistan is still important for India, and India's presence in Afghanistan is important. The next is creating safe digital spaces. So this is about the UNESCO, which has declared the first Thursday of every November as the International Day Against Violence and Bullying at School, in order to curb cyberbullying. Now we already know that after COVID-19, education also shifted online. So currently 71 million children aged 5 to 11 years, they access the internet on the devices of their family members. Okay, and 14% of the country's active internet users base of over 500 million, it consists of children. Now if the children are on internet, so they are also prone to cyberbullying. Now the cyberbullying, it has negative consequences on the education, health and well-being of children and young people. There was a report by UNESCO which is called as Behind the Numbers, Ending School Violence and Bullying. It highlighted that extent of the bullying, that almost 1 in 3 students report that they were being bullied at least once in the preceding month. Okay, now we require effective interventions like gender sensitive and targeted approach that respond to the needs of the children who are most likely going to become the victims of online violence. So if we will just talk about the girls, then 58% of the girls in Asia Pacific region reported online harassment. And if you see globally, the girls who were harassed, 14% who self-identified as having a disability, and 37% identified themselves as from the ethnic minority. Okay, and they have been harassed. Okay, तो हमें vulnerable को भी बचाना है और gender महिलाओं girls को भी बचाना है. Now if we will just see, children who are frequently bullied by are nearly 3 times more likely to feel left out at school than those who are not. इसका मतलब कि bullying का एक educational learning outcome पे भी बहुत ज़्यादा impact होने वाला है, and it may is possible that such children can leave formal education just after finishing the secondary school. See how we can support our children and how we can save them from cyberbullying. So UNESCO, in partnership with NCERT on safe learning in times of COVID-19 information, so it supports the creation of safe digital spaces and addresses the nuances of security. Then it aims to prevent the adverse effect of online gardening and psycho-emotional stress that children could be undergoing. Then the Department of School Education and Literacy has circulated exhaustive guidelines to raise children and parental awareness. Now at the time of COVID-19 lockdowns, where students are accessing the online medium to attend the classes, it is very necessary that we should work on making our online space free from cyberbullying. Then the next is ruling the boat. So over here, news from sports. So Sankalp Gupta and Mitrabha Guha, they have become 71st and 72nd Grandmaster respectively. Okay, so in August and September we will see Harshit Raja and Raja Ritwik had achieved their final GM norms. So if you will just see the share of Indian GMs in the world, it is rising consistently since 1988 when Vishwanathan Anand became India's first GM. So if you will see India's record, so no country other than India has more GMs who were born after 2000. So the recent four, that is Sankalp Gupta, Mitrabha Guha, Harshit Raja and Raja Ritwik, they will only stretch India's lead in this metric. So that's all for today. We will meet tomorrow again with a daily Hindu analysis. Till then, have a nice day. Take care. Thank you.